Back on the SportsMax Zone 2, Caribbean athletes have been shortlisted for the Bowerman Award, given since 2009 to the most outstanding track and field athlete for the US collegiate season. Jamaican triple jumper Jaydon Hibbert has been nominated for the male award following a tremendous season in which he smashed the world under-20 record, the NCAA and national records indoors and out. The 18-year-old winning both the NCAA indoor and outdoor triple jump titles. The Arkansas freshman nominated alongside multi-event athletes Kyle Garland of Georgia and the German Neo Neugebauer, who represented the Texas University. Double outdoor sprint champion St. Lucian Julien Alfred is in the shortlist for the women's category. Her outdoor accolades were additions to her blistering indoor sprint performances. The 21-year-old broke both the 60 and 200-meter NCAA records, joining American Alia Hobbs as a joint fastest woman indoors over the short sprint, and second only to Merlin Ottey on the all-time 200-meter indoor list. Alfred's competition for the award, a horizontal jumper Jasmine Moore of Florida and Arkansas's 400-meter hurdler Britton Wilson. Now, Leighton Leavitt joins us now to discuss these developments. We got them on the semi-final list from last week, and they are now both shortlisted. Only three of them. Curiously, these awards won't be announced until December,
which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, because the season ends in June, the US collegiate season. But both strong candidates, Julien Alfred in the sprints and Jaydon Hibbert with the triple jump. But their challengers also have solid CVs.
I agree. But I think both of them have distinct advantages in that, let's start with Julien Alfred. Alfred literally ran unbeaten all year, indoors and outdoors, and set a number of records. Jasmine Moore has been good with the long and triple jump, but she's lost competitions this year. Similarly, Britton Wilson, who was supposed to be the standout 400-meter hurdler, 400-meter runner, lost both titles at the NCAAs this year. Julien Alfred, unblemished.
Yes.
You know, fastest times in all conditions at the same meet on the same day, never been done before. So I think she has a distinct advantage, and I would be surprised if she doesn't win. For Hibbert, here's why I think he has an advantage. Freight train Garland lost outdoors to Neugebauer and vice versa. So they both lost NCAA titles. One finished second, one finished third.
So they've sort of watered down each other's...
Yeah, they've actually helped to cancel out each other. Whereas Jaydon Hibbert has not lost all year.
Yes.
And in fact, the most amazing thing for me about Jaydon Hibbert's accomplishments this season, 2 world records, under 20 world records. The outdoor mark, 1787, is a world lead, still a world lead. And he took 12 jumps to do all of this. Indoor title, outdoor title, regional title, and of course, the national title. 12 jumps. 12. This is 2 competitions. I mean, for those who are not familiar with the jumps, you get 6 jumps per competition. So overall, and this includes the character games as well, yes. Jaydon Hibbert had an opportunity to do 45 jumps. He only used 20. That's how good he has been all year. And of course, he's broken a number of records. Mike Connolly's record at Arkansas. He's the new national under-20 record holder. I mean, the national records, from a Jamaican perspective, don't matter in terms of the Bowerman, but he now owns the NCAA records, both indoor and outdoors. And while the other 2 gentlemen have had records as well, nobody has been as dominant in their event as Jaydon Hibbert has been this season. Yeah,
well, solid points there being made for both Julien Alfred and Hibbert to win these Bowerman Awards when they are announced in December. I noticed at the end of 200-meter wins, Julien Alfred suggesting she doesn't like the 200.
She says she hates it.
She doesn't really want to run it. And now only Merlin Ottey has gone faster indoors. Well, that certainly says a lot about her ability.
Absolutely. One of the things that struck me about her performance in the 200 especially, in addition to the fact that she hates running it, is that last year, it was only last year that Abby Stanton ran 22.09, which was the second fastest time behind Merlin Ottey's 21.87.
Yes. Here
comes Julien Alfred, who is not known as a 200-meter runner, and she runs 22.01. That's just 200th of a second outside the 22-second mark indoors. And she opened her season at 21.91 outdoors, which tells you that where she is right now in terms of her abilities and what she's able to produce makes her not only one of the best athletes collegiately, but globally as well. So she's had an absolutely amazing season. And the scary thing about it, when I spoke to Coach Floreal, he says she's still developing. So you can imagine, because I tell people all the time to put things in context, outside of the Jamaicans, she's now the fastest one out of the Caribbean ever.
Yes.
So, and she's run a couple of 10.72s winded, but slightly winded, which tells you that it's well within her reach.
And the Bahamians have had some world-class women's sprinters,
and of course,
so that is a serious narrative.
Yeah, and Kellyanne Baptiste from Trinidad and Tobago is around 10.83. She's 10.81 legally. And, it's clear to see that 10.70 is not beyond her, because she's run, the 10.72 she ran was 2.4, which if you should extrapolate it down to 2.0, you're looking about 10.79.
Yes.
So she's right there ready to run 10.7s right now.
Yeah, Akira Nugent, I found it slightly surprising that she did not make the short list for the Women's Award. And I want to know what you think on this one, because she's had an amazing season. She won the NCAA Indoor title. She won the NCAA Outdoor title, ran some really fast times, although that 12-2 performance at the NCAA Outdoor Championships was wind assisted.
3.8, yeah.
But when you compare her championship performances to, let's say, Britton Wilson, who lost both her races at the NCAA Outdoor Championships, then I think she could easily have gotten into this final three.
I agree, and I think, but the thing is, with Akira, if you remember, she lost a conference. I think she lost in her conference to.
Yeah, she lost the conference title.
Yeah, so that I think worked against her, and plus the fact that she did run a couple of hundreds as well.
But
so
here's the thing:
she's judged on the number of performance, the number of events. Huh?
Yeah.
So whereas Britton Wilson was dominating the events right up to the NCAA Championships, that's where she lost. But Akira lost a few races in the 100, where she's only now beginning. Yeah. And of course, she lost the conference championship.
So are you saying to me that if Akira had not run the 100 and she was being judged purely on her hurdles performances, then we might be looking at a different situation in terms of the final list?
Perhaps, because you're judged on your performances in individual events, and it comes down to a vote. So if she had not run the 100 and just focused on the hurdles, and with the record that she has in the hurdles, because she's a number of records as well, she probably most likely would have been in the final as well.
Yeah, there has to be an explanation like that, Ricardo, because to be honest, losing in the conference events shouldn't be as detrimental as losing in the nationals.
Yeah.
And that's what Wilson did, lost at the nationals, which Akira Nugent didn't.
Yeah, I must admit that when I saw the short list, I thought to myself, Akira Nugent is just a little unfortunate not to be there. But quickly, Leighton, the Bowerman Award started in 2009. Just one Caribbean winner since then, the late Leon Lendor. It took me again by surprise that we've not had more Caribbean winners of this award, but that this time around we could end up with two.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at Janique Brown, for example, she was a run-up into Shakara Richardson back in 2019. A lot of sort of Caribbean athletes have come close over the years. But I think this year, based on what we've seen, based on the performances from Julien, Alfred and Jaydon Hibbert, this is probably the best opportunity for the Caribbean to take home not just the male title, but the women's title as well.
I suspect, though, that with this award inaugurated in 2009, if it was on a lot earlier, when Caribbean athletes may have been a little bit more dominant in the 1990s and so on the collegiate.
Marlene Otter definitely would have won.
Yes, I think there would have been more Caribbean winners.
I think would have won. She dominated the hurdles at the collegiate level. There are a number of Caribbean athletes who would have done well. I think even Otto Bolden, for example, would have done extremely well in terms of the Bowerman Award. Obadeli Thompson, of course. Yeah, there are a number. The thing is that when you look at what the Caribbean athletes have brought in terms of value to NCAAs since from as far back as I can remember, Herb McKinley come all the way through.
That's the 1940s.
Yeah, the Caribbean has done really well at the NCAA level, and the NCAA actually have helped a lot of Caribbean athletes as well. So it's not a one-way thing. It's actually they've worked well in terms of tandem with each other.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we have to wait 6 months to know who the Bowerman winners are. That happens on the 14th.
They might win world medals before we get to the Bowerman winner.
Yeah, but you can actually. I think you're allowed 5 votes. I think. So if you can get online and vote and support the Caribbean athletes, feel free, because they are worthy of the Bowerman Award this year.
14th of December. That's when the official awards will be announced for the Bowerman, both men and women. Julien, Alfred from St. Lucia and the Jamaican Jaydon Hibbert in line and one among the favourites for the awards. Back with more on The Zone after this.